Hello, everyone. I'm Kelly Lenvoy, VP of Communications and Public Affairs at Arthritis Consumer Experts, joined today by Cheryl Cohen, President of ACE. And we're going to give you just a little sneak peek at the start of one of the world's largest annual gatherings in rheumatology, and that is the American College of Rheumatology's annual meeting. This year, Cheryl, it's featuring expert presentations from, I believe, more than 320 clinicians, researchers, health experts, and patients, but no attendees. Normally, there's, I think, upwards of 25, 30,000 people walking around the halls of a convention center, experts from around the world, but this is the second consecutive year where it's being held virtually. I think you've had a look at the program. What are some of the things that you're watching out for over the next 4 or 5 days of the conference?
Yeah, well, we are coming together. The meeting is happening, and as the backdrop here would suggest to you, people are converging around arthritis, the topic of arthritis, starting today with the opening lecture and running until the middle of next week, or the end of next week, actually. So the meeting virtually is taking place over a longer block of time, I think in part to accommodate for people's, obviously, their schedules, and they're trying to do their own work off the side of their desk as well as participate in the conference. Well, first off, Kelly, to answer the question about what I'm excited about, one, I'm excited about the presentation of our own poster, clearly, on patient perspectives on the use of virtual care pre, during, and post-pandemic. That's going to be presented by our colleague, Maya Joshi, on Tuesday, November 9th, and it's abstract number 1597. We're so excited to be presenting that poster during the poster session taking place that day. And the session time is between 8:30 and 10:30 Eastern time. So Maya will be there to answer questions while that time period is on. So that's first and foremost, have to plug our poster.
And our members and subscribers will be getting more information about that next week as well.
Yeah, I think we have an interview with Maya coming up. The other things I'm super interested about, obviously, most patients like me living with some type of rheumatic disease want to hear the latest and greatest about the research on the disease itself. So I'm going to be taking part in a lot of those sessions. But I think very importantly for the work that we do at ACE, there are hundreds and hundreds of posters on the patient perspective on certain topics that are clinical. So for example, there's a really cool poster on how we use social media as a recruitment tool for hard to reach populations in rheumatology clinical research. And I'm going to feed in the hidden subtext there. That's the inequity. Those are the people who face inequities because they're not reflected in our clinical studies. So I'm looking forward to hearing from these researchers at the University of California, San Diego, about what they found out. We, as you know, we work with our research partners to try to help recruit people into their studies. And if we can do a better job using social media by getting to hard to reach, hard to serve populations, which are those who face inequities, I think the more we will sort of achieve one of our aims in our organizational work. The other, I think, thing that I'm really looking forward to is about fatigue and inflammation. It's fatigue. Over and over and over again, we hear about people like me, how that plays a role in their life, even when their disease is well controlled. Fatigue seems capable of breaking through the barrier of disease suppression that many of our therapies provide us.
And helps ultimately is a key to unlocking the issues around mental health as well.
Oh, for sure. Fatigue and depression are really hand in glove issues, I think, in people like myself. There's also some really cool work happening around pain improvement and patient-reported outcomes, or PROMs, as researchers call them, in psoriatic arthritis. One of our Canadian rheumatologists here, Dr. Louis Bessette, has a poster coming up tomorrow, actually, on that. It's very early in the day on the West Coast, but is happening between 8:30 and 10:30. It's poster number 0234. So we congratulate Dr. Bessette and his colleagues for work done in that phase 3 trial. There are other projects happening around lupus self-management, and can an online self-management tool be effective? So super excited to hear from Melissa French, who's with the Lupus Foundation of America. So, I mean, I could go kind of on and on, Kelly, about this work that's specific to patient perspectives or PROMs. There's really cool work being done by our colleagues in Europe on maternal attachment anxiety and depressive symptoms in pregnant women with rheumatic disease. So you name it, there's just a huge scope of research being presented this year on our views, patient views on what's happening to them related to some of those topics.
Yeah, an important reminder for our audience, who a lot of whom are not going to be registered for the conference, obviously, is that ACE will be providing, as it usually does, a recap of sort of the key takeaways from some of this research that you're describing that we'll be sending out either via Joint Health Express or Joint Health Insight.
Yeah, and you know, at the end of this little short teaser, Kelly, as you've called it, is going to be a slide that has our Twitter handle, the ACR hashtag. So if you're on social media, folks, and you want to get involved, you don't actually need to be, you know, attending the conference. You can actually follow the hashtag and learn a whole heck of a lot. So we encourage you to participate in our social media activities over the next week.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Thanks for the summary. And, you know, I like putting you on the spot. I think our audience would like to know maybe one or two of the favorite books that you have in the bookcase behind you that you've read. And
oh, yeah,
really
right.
enjoyed.
Well, this is my fancy dancy ACR Convergence bookcase.
Sorry.
I think About Arthritis is one of my more popular titles. Getting the Most from Your Healthcare Team in Rheumatology is another favorite title.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for sharing those titles.
Okay.
And the summary. And for our audience, please look out for our social media activities. And again, some of the summaries we'll be providing from this year's ACR annual meeting, Convergence 2021.
Hashtag ACR 21. Thanks.